every portrait, there is a truth in every tale, and all the days that came before us, or as the wind upon our sails.
There is a forest in every father, as he stands amidst the wild. There is a mountain in every mother, sturdy force of heart and mind.
every tale and all the days that came before us, or as the wind and the pawn on our sails.
There is a forest in every father as he stands amidst the wild. There is a mountain in every mother, sturdy force of heart and mind.
up here for this?
I did. Yeah.
You guys connected with the Aviva as a family?
Yeah, I talked for,
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Please sing back to me. Hi, li, 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 li. So this is a nigun, a wordless melody, considered the highest form of prayer in one stream of our tradition. This one is filled with joy. So feel the joy. Everyone, take a deep cleansing breath. Deep breath. There's excitement in the room. Let's channel that into our voices. Feel the joy. Once again. Hi, li, 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 li. Hi, li, li, li. Hi, li, li, li. Hi, li, li, li. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, la, la. Hi, la, la, la. Hi, la, la, la. Hi, la, 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 la. Nice. Invite you to turn to number 3 on our additional page. Aviva and Rachel will lead us in this prayer of gratitude for being here right now in this moment. Please turn to page 140, 141. One of our prayers of welcome into this space of sanctuary is right here. Compilation of verses from the Torah. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How lovely are your tents, Jacob, Yaakov, your sanctuaries, your safe places. This place. We are Yisrael. Again, Aviva and Rachel are going to sing a contemporary version of this tefillah, of this prayer. If you know it, sing with us. If you don't, hum with us.
Ma tovu is the morning, Ma tovu bless us this morning. Oh Hallel, center, Yaakov our heritage. Mishkenotecha, we are searching, will you show us Israel? We are Israel. Born to sing your praises in our holy, holy spaces. Ma tovu, bless this morning, Ma tovu. Ma tovu halayich, Sarah mishkenotayich, Rivka Leah. Born to sing your praises in your holy, holy spaces. Ma tovu, bless the morning, Ma tovu.
Take your seat. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to this Shabbat morning service, during which Aviva Feder will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. We say Mazal Tov to Aviva, to her parents, Mark and Ann, sister Talia, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends who've come from great distances and just across the street. What a delight to be here to celebrate this amazing moment. This moment of a young person stepping up and saying, I'm in. I'm in. I claim my heritage. I claim this spiritual path. As I'm just coming into a new sense of identity. This is a part of who I am. And stepping into community in a different way. It's not just a beautiful and powerful moment for her family. It's an incredible moment for our entire community, because our community is enriched and we are lifted up when our young people say, yes, yes, hineni, here I am. So, feel the warmth. Tune in. Sing with us. For those of you who are perhaps unfamiliar, this prayer book is an amazing tool, and that's all it is. It's a guide. The prayers that we will offer today come from every age of Jewish history. Some are 3,000 years old or more, and some were written last year. The prayer book, on the upper left facing page, we have Hebrew, the rooted language of prayer of the Jewish people. And for those of you for whom it looks like Greek, beneath the Hebrew is the transliteration. It's all spelled out so that you can participate, if you wish, as we invite you to do. On the right-facing page is the translation. So there is a power in these ancient letters and ancient words, and that's why we do this. That's why we mouth and say and sing and chant these words, because these are the words our parents and grandparents and ancestors have chanted for countless generations. There is a power in joining with them, in entering into the dialogue with the ancestors. That's what we do when we offer prayers in Hebrew. And we want everyone to know what we're saying. So it's all here. And the gift of this Siddur in particular, this prayer book, is underneath the lines. On most pages, you will see all kinds of wonderful notes, historical insights. On page 141, where we just were, it says kavanah underneath the line. The most important word in, I would say, not just the Jewish prayer lexicon, but in any prayer lexicon. Kavanah means intention of the heart. And we teach all of our children, we guide all of our adults that the most important moment of any prayer is the moment before we begin, when we align with our own kavanah, our own intention of the heart that turns words and melodies into prayer. So find your own kavanah. Often we will offer something. If it speaks to you, have at it. If not, if you have a different kavanah, beautiful, beautiful. So on this day, and it's in fact along this journey, Aviva has received many, many gifts. Most of them are not material, but there are some that are. And on this day, as she comes up onto the bima to become, this process is not about arriving, it's about becoming. It's about acknowledging a growth and a development. That as in this process of becoming, she is honored to wear a talit. Her own talit. It's an adult gift. It's worn by people who are becoming adults, have been adults. We wrap ourselves in it to remind ourselves that love and embrace are a primary portal into this experience, mysterious experience of prayer, of tefillah. So, Aviva, come on up. Oh, great, they're here. Uncle David and Aunt Dodie, come on up to present Aviva with her talit on this day of her bat mitzvah. Aviva, come right here.
Aviva, your name means spring, and there are pomegranates on here that remind us of the joy of spring, the freshness, the sweetness, and the joy that you bring to people with your voice, both your singing voice and your ideas, that voice as well. And we are pleased to be able to welcome you into the Folks Who Wear Talit Club with this talit. And we hope that every time you wear it, you'll feel like we're giving you a hug, and all these people are giving you a hug, and you're embraced with that sweetness that you bring to us as well.
Amen. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. See your hand. Come back up. Because we have something that we rarely do, but this is a unique Feder experience. Come on up, all of you. Mark, did you want to introduce this? Come over here, Annie. Come closer. Hold on. You need to be over here. That's better.
Excellent. Well, as somebody who is also being welcomed to the Talit Club, we would like you, as a family, to welcome you to the Talit Club. And as your arms have embraced us through these years, and perhaps most acutely in the last hour and a half, we would like to embrace you with this talit. If you'll take that, we shall come and wrap it round. Oh, blessings first. Blessings first.
Face this way.
All right, we're going to pretend we know this.
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. 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 Let's give it a kiss. And it fits. Oh, does it fit? Mazel tov. So I want to invite you to turn to page 152, 153. Holy Spirit. So on 152 and 153, we find the Birchot HaShachar, the morning blessings. If you looked at the commentary on the right-facing page underneath the line, you would see that these are blessings that were traditionally said upon waking up in the morning. These are blessings that were, for generations, our people said in bed. The first thing we did when we came to consciousness was we said, "Blessed are you, awakener, our God, life of all the worlds, who removes sleep from my eyes and slumber from my eyelids." We said a blessing for coming to consciousness. What a beautiful way to begin a morning. And if you look at, there's only, because there's so much commentary, there's 1, 2, 3 blessings. If you turn the pages, you'll see there's blessings for, I love, some of them are quite poetic. Who gives the bird of dawn discernment to tell day from night? The shifting of time and of light. Who stretches forth the earth upon the waters. Who enables us, on page 156 it says, who makes the blind to see? We all have known blindness. And we all have known insight. These blessings are universal. It acknowledges our ability to clothe the naked, to care for others, to be a difference maker in the world. So our tradition here at Beth Chaim is that these are blessings written down by others. Some of them are very beautiful. We're going to start with our truths and our blessings in this moment. So I'm going to offer the beginning of the blessing formula. It has different formulations. And then invite you to call out what you're feeling blessed by right now. Because all of these words are not about just saying them. They are prompts. Every prayer in this book is a prompt. That's no problem. There you go. They guide us to our own experience, to our own truths. So we're going to start with those truths. So we'll say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, breath of all life, who gives us the gift of Aviva. Where did that come from? And family, whatever you feel as a blessing right now. Beautiful weather, community, chosen family, grandparents, and then we have this word, amen. Amen comes from the word, the same root as emunah, faith. When someone else offers a blessing that we ourselves haven't articulated, but we can get behind it, really get behind it, we say yes. And our word for yes is Amen. Brucha atya shchinat haolam. Blessed are you, the mystery at the heart of reality that gives us the gifts of love, friendship, grandchildren, health, healing, life. And for all of these blessings we say, Amen. One more. Baruch atiyah, Ruach haolam. Blessed are you, Spirit of all time and space, who gifts us with joy and sleep and laughter and abundance. So for everyone that wasn't sure if I should call it out or not, but felt something for all of the blessings said and unsaid, we say Amen. Oh, it feels good to feel blessed. And in this time of blessing, when we have a bar bat mitzvah, if the bat mitzvah happens to have a sibling, we acknowledge the importance and the power of having a, in this case, big sister. Come on up. Talia, Aviva. No rushing. Shabbos.
Aviva, first of all, I want to say that you're doing an amazing job. And although I did write this beforehand, you are doing an amazing job. Aviva, you are my zero, my constant best friend that is better and more valuable than any number could be. I feel safe and happy when I'm around you, a happiness that is so pure and genuine that I don't have time to think about my anxieties or any other thoughts occupying my mind. You make me whole. From when I first laid my eyes on you, which I don't remember, but I remember the feeling, I remember feeling the same pure happiness I feel now, one filled with hope and excitement for the future and what our siblingship will turn out to be. Well, it turns out it's not just a siblingship, but a live-ship. That's a word. A relationship that I know will last a lifetime. It goes deeper than just being siblings, because you understand me on a level that no one can. I love our secret conversations and our subtle eye contact with each other when we're mad at mom and dad. But overall, I love you. I love your passionate attitude, your determination to keep going, and your outgoing, sparkly personality. Everyone has their favorite superheroes, but I never understood why I could never find one. Now I realize that my superhero is you. I know that if I need you, you'll be one fly or call away. I know that you can save me from whatever problem I'm dealing with, and most importantly, I know that you lead with kindness and power wherever you go. I love you because you're uniquely you. You don't copy anyone, unlike when we were little. And I hope that never changes. I know there will be challenges and hardships because, unfortunately, that's life, but I hope that you can count on me to be there for you, because I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour, and I'll be there for you like I've been there before, and I'll even be there for you because you're there for me too. I love you, Aviva, and my blessing for you is that I hope you see in yourself what I see in you every day. I love you.
Amen. So beautiful. So lovely. We, as a community, we have always done things a little differently. You're decidedly not your grandfather or grandmother's shul. One of the things we do is we have never accessed a cantor because rather than one person, and I know some wonderful cantors, I would never say anything negative about them, but there are many cantors who perform. And that's not what leading the congregation in prayer is ever about. So we have a cantorial group of folks who volunteer, who have voices and love not only to sing but to pray. And this morning we're blessed to have Jeff Reitzis and Drew Porter here from our Chazanut group helping us in what's called in Hebrew Hidur Mitzvah, making this mitzvah more beautiful with their talent and their hearts. And we have one other incredible gift this morning, and that gift is Rachel Mazer, who is a daughter of this community, who was bat mitzvahed here, grew up here, and is blossoming into an amazing professional singer-songwriter. Her first album, her first creation was a big hit, and she's really taken on the most extraordinary challenge to make it in an industry that's so difficult. But what's extraordinary is that she has become a teacher for Aviva. And when there's nothing more gratifying than when a student in the community becomes a teacher in the way that Rachel has for Aviva. So we honor her coming up from LA today to be with us, to help lead us, to honor her connection to Aviva, her connection to this community, and inspires all of us. Rachel is someone who has pursued her dream and is making it happen. And that is such a beautiful thing. It takes so much hard work and enormous talent, and she has both. So we're so grateful to have her here today to help lead this beautiful simcha, this bat mitzvah. Thank you, Rachel. So, Rachel, Aviva, come on up. One of the central prayers of our Psukei de Zimra, our verses of wonder, which is the next stage of the prayer after the morning blessings. It's a stage that is filled, usually we access the Tehillim, the Psalms. There's 150 prayer poems in the book of Psalms, and we usually call upon them. Well, Aviva has chosen to call upon a psalm, a version of the psalm written by Leonard Cohen, Zichrono Livracha, may his memory be a blessing. It's a version of Hallelujah, a central through line of the Psalms.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king compose, and hallelujah, hallelujah.
She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Say I took the
Name in vain. I don't even know the name, but if I did, well, really, what's it to ya? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter what you heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Amen. You can sit down. Actually, you know what? Let's go who do you want? So we're calling up Maria. Oh, great. So we turn to our Tefillah page, number 8. B'nai Mitzvah class, come on up. Gather around Aviva. You're in the center. Gather around tight so you can get into the mic. No, in close. Everybody drawing. Come in.
Come on, guys.
This prayer is itself a kavanah. It's an intention for the borchu, which we're about to sing after it. Borchu means we bless. And this reminds us that blessing is a dynamic interaction. It requires a heart that is open offering and the heart that is open to receive. This blessing we offer to the mystery, to the source of all blessing. So it says, Borchu, we bless, dear one. Shechina, one of the many names for the mystery in our tradition. It's a particularly feminine, juicy, passionate, and compassionate experience of godliness. So we'll be call and response, and we join together with, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. You guys will lead, ready? Gather in so you can be heard. Gather, come right in around. Everybody dry. Ready?
Baruch Hu,
dear one, Shekhinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Go ahead.
Baruch Hu,
Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. One more time. Baruch Hu, dear one, you turn it to page 247, all who are able, please rise. Our tradition, that's it. Take this here. We're going to turn this way. Tradition is to bow, and it's actually, we're not bowing to anyone. We are reminding ourselves how flexible we are, how we can bend and stretch, and when we are fully alive, we can be connectors of earth and heaven. We stretch on the first word of each line. Ready? Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la 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 la. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol. Blessed are you, God, who creates light in times of darkness and creates darkness to help us appreciate light and darkness. Blessed are you, creator of all. Amen. Get a seat right here. Have a seat. We have another kavanah, another spiritual intention to lead us to the Shema and V'ahavta, and I will signal you folks to come up. When I signal you to come up, we begin. The Shema directs us to listen with all of who we are. And in order to do that, this beautiful kavanah written by a friend and colleague, Steve Klepper, says, open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes.
Teach us how to live.
Teach us how to live.
Fill our hearts with joy.
And all the love we have to give.
Gather us in peace.
Gather us in peace.
As you lead us to your name.
As you lead us to your name.
And we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes.
Teach us how to live.
Teach us how to live.
Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace.
Gather us in peace.
As you lead us to your name.
As you lead us to your name.
And we will know that we are one.
we will know that all is one. Stand in the center. Aviva is center. Either side. We turn to page 277 for the Shema and V'ahavta, our people's central affirmation of connectedness. And we invite Aviva and her classmates to lead us, to remind them and us that they have the potential of being the leaders of the next generation. Right on time. And we teach them this. I want to acknowledge that Jeff writes this more. Jeff is our 7th grade, or as we fondly call them, the teacher of the Jew crew this year. They spend their Sunday mornings, most Sunday mornings, either together here, reflecting on the values that they want to explore and learn that will become important as they move into adulthood. And they go out into the world, whether it's to the Contra Costa Food Bank or to help clean up a local park or to, bless you, White Pony Express, an organization that collects food from restaurants and grocery stores that are still good but no longer saleable and delivers them to homeless shelters and other people in need. They go out to witness organizations that are doing the work of tikkun olam, of healing and transforming the world, to know that this is the challenge. So right now, I want to invite Aviva. Oh, if your tradition is to sit during the Shema, fine. If it's to stand, if it's to do jumping, whatever it is during this prayer, find your own place to offer it. And respond, join in as Aviva leads her classmates in this powerful, revolutionary prayer. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Hadarim ha'el Asher Anochi Metzalecha Hayom Al Levavecha Veshinantam Levanecha V'dibarta bam Veshitecha B'beitecha U'lechtecha B'derech U'shokbecha U'vkumecha U'kshatam leot Ha'odecha Ve'hayu betotavot B'neinecha U'chtavtam Al mezuzot beitecha U'v'yisharet Please turn to page 291. Part of what is woven into our tefillah, into our prayer, is accessing our people's memory banks. Really connecting to moments that transcend time. Sacred moments are always exist in timeless time. And they're moments that have empowered our people. Moments like this, the moments of the crossing of the sea, a moment when we didn't know which way to turn. It was water, body of water in front of us, the largest army in the world, hoofbeats, chariot wheels coming up towards us, and we didn't know what to do. This is a universal experience, not that exactly, but the feeling of not knowing which way to go, which way to turn. And sometimes it just means go into the water. No guarantee, just move forward. Make something happen. Do it with people you trust and who are there to support you. That is this moment right now. We all know it. So feel it, and when you can feel that knowledge that we have crossed, we have traversed, we have found our way around things, stuck places, moments where we didn't know where to go. If you have that experience, please rise. If you don't have that experience, you're either forgetting or you will, so please rise. Ready? Please join with us, a song of joy. La 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 la, 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 la la la. La 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 la. Hi la la la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la la la. Hi la la la. Mihi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osef elem, Nora tehilot osef elem. Hi la la la, hi la 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 la, hi la la la, hi la la la. Shira chadasha shibchu gelim l'shimcha sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Sur Yisrael kum Ezrat Yisrael uvdei chinumecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael go aleinu Adonai sesod shemo kedosh Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Go'al Yisrael. Amen. Please remain standing if you're able, but always listen to your bodies. If you need to be seated, please. The Amidah, our central silent meditation, begins on pages 294 and 5 and continues all the way to page 323. There are a series of blessings that if you are familiar with this prayer, please access them in the silence that we're about to enter. If you're not familiar, We have other options. This prayer book, if you look at the italics at the top of the page, there is a beautiful silent meditation, guided meditation you might want to look at to help you in this time of silence. And the default, the most powerful place of this prayer is simply to be in the silence and listen to whatever we need to hear, the deepest yearning of our hearts at this moment. We move into this time of silence with the 6 words at the top of page 295. Adonai, sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Dear God, open up my lips, open up my heart. Make me transparent to my own deepest yearnings at this moment. Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Aviva. We conclude this time of silence with a verse from the last paragraph of the Amidah prayer we just offered. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. It's a tune that Aviva wanted to sing with Rachel. Join in when you're able. A prayer for shalom that our world so desperately needs at this moment.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Ose shalom b'mroma, Uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom b'mroma, Uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom b'mroma, Uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael.
Amen. Now ready to move into our Torah service, climax of Shacharit, the morning service. We have a few introductory prayers that are meant to call us to awareness that encountering Torah, the sacred story of our people, is an invitation to connect to one of the great spiritual gifts of our tradition. So, as we ready ourselves to encounter Torah, Aviva will lead us in Ein Kamocha, top of page 383. There it is. Yes, Nadiv. Hi. Cousin Nadiv will join Aviva in leading us in this tefillah. Ready?
Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, ve'ein k'ma'asecha, malchutecha malchut, kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imol leolam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Avarachamim etiva v'yitzoncha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki lecha le'arbatanu, melech el ram v'nisa, Adonai.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You're here for the duration.
Oh, got it.
So, want to invite up Grandma and Grandpa, Bubby and Papa, and Mark and Ann. Come on up. Bring your Sidurim if you're able. Please come up onto the bima. Want to call up cousins Asher, Max, and Zoe. Perfect. On page 385, we are ready to encounter Torah, to open the Aron HaKodesh, the Ark, please, all who are able, rise in honor of the Torah as these beautiful children. Get a hold of that handle there. And this way, slide this way. Oh, yes. Well done. Good job. High five. Vayehivim Saharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, Veyafutzu oivecha, Veyanusu misanecha, mipanecha, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Udevar Yisrael mirushato. Let's put our sidurim on the chair because you're going to need your hands for the Torah. Turn this one. It's now time to pass the Sefer Torah, Lador Vador, from generation to generation. On page 385, the last verse, a verse from the Psalms, Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek, open to me the gates of goodness, of righteousness, as we prepare ourselves to encounter Torah. Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek, Avovam Odeya, Odeya, Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek, Avovam Odeya, Odeya, Zeh Hashar L'Adonai, Tzadikim Yavo, Zeh Hashar L'Adonai, Tzadikim Yavo. Aviva, this is the lineage you've been blessed to know. The lineage stretches way back, all the way to Sinai. But this is the visible lineage, the lineage that's blessed. It blessed you to tell their stories, to share their values, to help you understand where you come from and what truly matters in this life. And that's, your father's holding the Sefer Torah. And this is the unfolding of the Torah in your lifetime. You are the unfolding of the Torah in this moment. What a blessing. So right now, take the Torah from your dad through the loving arms of your mother and your grandparents. Right? Come slide this way. Slide in sideways. It's the Torah hop. On the top of page 393, we come once again, we circle back in this moment, sideways, to the mic, to the Shema. A few minutes ago, Aviva led this with her classmates. Now she sings it alone, but she's never alone. Connected to family and community. She will always have the support, the love, and connection that will sustain her throughout her life. So right now she sings it out to us, and we sing it back to her. We echo it to remind her of this deep truth. Aviva.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai Iti, Uneramam Shemo Yadav. It's now time for Aviva to carry the Sefer Torah out into the Kahal. If you'd like to greet the Torah with a touch, a connection, you're invited to do so. If you would like to come towards the aisles, we'll come down this way. And during the processional, we sing Al Shlosha Devarim, a verse from the Mishnah, from the oral Torah, on three things the world stands. Al HaTorah, on sacred story. Al Avodah, on service of the heart. And most importantly, Al Gmilut Chasadim, on acts of loving kindness. Welcome, join, connect with Torah. One step at a time. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al Avodah ve'al Gemilut Hasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al Avodah ve'al Gemilut Hasadim. Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam, Haolam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al Avodah ve'al Gemilut Hasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al Avodah ve'al Gemilut Hasadim. Oh, hi la 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 la, hi la la, hi la 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 la, hi la la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Oh, hi la 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 la, hi la la, hi la 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 la, hi la la, hi la 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 la. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha Benashuv Achai Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kedem. Sit down here or there. Why don't you, let's give these books to your family. Please have a seat. So, we've been using our prayer books now, and you can, underneath the seat in front of you, if you're in the first row, you can, underneath your seat, you can slide your prayer book there and access our Chumash. We ask that you don't put our sacred books on the floor. You can slide them under in that slot underneath your seat. That would be great. Does anyone not have a Chumash, Torah text? If you do, raise your hand and we'll bring you one. If you don't, rather, you don't have one, raise your hand high, class. You go, guys. You go bring these folks some more Chumashim, so everyone has one. Thank you. If you don't have one, raise your hand and you will be brought one. While that's happening, today, in our journey through the Torah, we come to a really important moment in the unfolding of our sacred history. And it comes to us today. We find ourselves in Sefer Shemot, in the book of Exodus, and the Torah portion is Ki Tisa. Ki Tisa. The Torah portion today begins with the directive that each person, our people, have just received the Torah, the tablets on Mount Sinai. They're getting ready to wander further into the wilderness. And there's a realization that we need a physical spiritual center. People are in need of this. So, in deep connection to the divine, Moses hears that we need to build a Mishkan, a portable sanctuary. In order to build the portable sanctuary, every person must contribute a half shekel, not very much in terms of value, but a half shekel towards the building of this sanctuary, this portable sanctuary. We then hear a description, you'll hear more about that in just a few moments from Aviva. We then hear a description of the sacred objects, the holy implements for the Mishkan. You'll be hearing more of that from Aviva as well. But in our sacred story, Moses had been up on Mount Sinai communing with God for a long period of time. The numbers in the Torah are all symbolic, but whenever you see the number 40, means a long time. He's been up there 40 days and nights. And what he did not anticipate is how much the people depended on him and how much fear his absence would provoke. The fear that perhaps Moses had abandoned him. Maybe he had sneaked down the other side of the mountain and run off, or fallen, and he was gone. In their panic that Moses will never return, the Israelite turned to his brother Aaron and demanded that he help them fashion a golden calf, a deity that they were familiar with from their days in slavery in Egypt, as a spiritual pacifier to help them in their regressed state of fear. Aaron tries to stall and asks them to provide all their jewelry and any other precious stones they have, any other precious metals, so he can melt them down to comply with their desire for this golden object of worship. But they surprise him and they quickly deliver him accountable to create this fear-driven, molten deity. When Moses comes down the mountain and sees the people dancing around this misplaced priority, he smashes the tablets on the ground and chaos ensues. But the story doesn't end there today, because Ki Tisa is the great story in our tradition about second chances. After the chaos, Moses goes back up onto the mountain and brings back a second set of tablets that the people are now prepared to receive. So, that's your background for our Torah encounter this morning. After Aviva chants from the Torah, well, I should say that Aviva and I have been studying this Torah portion, the parts that drew her, that spoke to her. We've been studying this for the last 3.5 months, every week. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure because you'll hear why it's been a pleasure in just a few moments. But every week, Aviva showed up, brought herself, and asked amazing questions, and challenged, and wasn't afraid to say, "What?" Which is what Torah study is all about. And she was asked to consider one question. What does this mean to her in her own life? And you'll hear that response in just a few moments. After Aviva chants from the Torah, she will chant from a few verses from the Haftarah, from the prophetic writings associated with the Torah, and then offer her own Dvar Torah, words of Torah, her own teaching on what this encounter with Torah meant to her as a way of opening it up to all of us. The reading today is broken up into 6 sections. Aliot, before each section. Aliyah literally means ascent, because for each section we call up individuals, family members, friends who will be honored to offer and receive blessings in connection with the Torah. In addition to Aviva, her sister Talia will also chant from the Torah, and we invite Talia to come up. It's the only family where each person has their own yad. How cool is that? Come on around. Mora Sam was Aviva's primary trope mentor. She taught Aviva how to chant from the Torah. It's not an easy thing to do because the Torah scroll has no vowels, no punctuation. You have to know what you're doing when you encounter it. And we honor Sam's mentoring of Aviva in this process. And we we honor, where'd he go? There he is. Mora Jeff, as I mentioned before, who's been we had turnover in our 7th grade teacher, and we were thinking, well, who should we turn to? And Jeff had taught this class when they were in the 3rd grade 4 years ago, and he said, I love these kids. I want to teach them again this year. So we honor his stepping up and bringing his heart to mentoring these young people. So, finally, it is our custom for some of the sections that we will chant to offer kavanot, or spiritual intentions, that will be for the sections that will be chanted this morning. And in addition to the people who are specifically called up, if the intention speaks to your heart, you simply rise at your seat and claim a connection, claim your blessings. Don't be shy. You can do it for whatever section you'd like. The Torah portion begins today on page 598. Is that right? No. Excuse me. 448. 448. I was fooling you. 448. And we're going to start with, we're in actually, you'll see 32 in the left-hand column. That means above it is the end of chapter 31. We're going to start with verse 15 in chapter 31. 15 is the second line from the top in the Hebrew, and you can see where it is in the translation. So for the first Aliyah, we call up Sister Talia, and along with any past B'nai Mitzvah students who happen to be here today. Yamdu, B'nai Mitzvah, Mishanot Shavru, Rishon. Rachel, I think that would be you as well. Come on up, you're here. While they're coming up, I want to say that this section follows the directive that there is to be consecrated, made sacred, a portable sanctuary to be a place to draw people's awareness to God's presence in their midst while they're wandering in the wilderness. Here our people are reminded that even with this new portable sanctuary, this central spiritual practice of the Jewish people will still be Shabbat, what we are celebrating this morning. This time set aside to slow ourselves down and remember that spending quality time with family and friends is a profound spiritual practice. Makes a life of meaning possible. So if you feel that life often gets too busy and you've experienced the importance of setting aside time during which we cease working and simply allow ourselves to be present with the people we love, you are invited to rise and claim this powerful blessing of Shabbat. Second line from the top. Where are we? Okay, right here. Come touch the place. Everybody come touch the place or pass it down. People. Blessing, you're all here. Come on up, binders. You got it? Everybody in? Great. And Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach, Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed, Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen. Have a seat. We'll invite you to rise when we say the blessing following the Aliyah. Come on, right here. Sheshet Yamin. We'll bring it down a little for you. Okay. Amen.
Wait, I think you started. I started Bisham. You started Bisham.
Oh. I'm sorry. Bisham. I thought you started Sheshet Yamin. Excuse me, we're starting with not verse 15, verse 16, fourth line from the top.
Amen. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat l'dorotam b'ri olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam l'daber ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Vayitain el Moshe kehaloto l'daber ito bechar Sinai shenei luhot ha'adut luhot evein ki Kituvim v'ratzva Elohim.
Well done. Shkoch. Elohim. Be'etzba Elohim. Come take your etzba, your finger, come touch the Torah. One more time. Those who stood before, who yearn or practice setting aside time for being, Shabbat time, whatever day or time it is, we honor that, and our blessing continues. And Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'natan lanu Torat emet b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Shakoach. Got a C. Mazel tov. Well done. Well done. Here you go. Have a seat. We continue with chapter 32, verse 1. Same pages, 4, 4, 8, and 9. We invite Aviva to come up onto the bima. For the second aliyah, we call up Great Aunt Jeannie and Great Uncle Jim, cousins Randy and Liz, Yamdu, Dodot Gedolot, Vidodim Gedolim, Sheni. The rabbis noticed something interesting in this section. If you look at verse 2, it says, take the rings off your wives and children. Aaron, again, is trying to slow down this fast-moving current to build this golden calf. And he says, take the rings off your wives and children. So Aaron replies, when pressed to help this golden calf, he says, do this, thinking it'll be a deal breaker. Clearly, he was talking to the men. He says, take them off your wives and your children. Our rabbis deduced that he was addressing the men because the women were able to better control their fear and did not want to go along with this plan to build this golden calf. The rabbis teach that because of their refusal to participate in following this false priority, the women were honored every month by having their own special holiday, the celebration of Rosh Chodesh, of the new moon. So anyone here who's experienced the special courage of women is invited to rise and experience this blessing. Come on around. Come. Perfect. Come right around to the Torah. You got it. Perfect. Come touch the Torah with your talit. You can use somebody else's. You can wrap her in it. Right there. Come touch the Torah anywhere you like. It's right there. Okay, pass it around. All good. Wonderful. Come to the Torah a little bit. Ready? Ready? Baruch Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu im kol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Have a seat. We'll invite you to rise in just a moment. Step back a little. Ready? So listen and sing it out.
Amen. Vayar ha'am ki voshesh Moshe la'redet min ha'har. Vayikahel ha'am ala Haron. Vayamru elav kum aseh lanu Elohim. Asher yelhu lefanenu ki zeh Moshe ha'ish. Asher ha'elanu me'eretz Mitzrayim lo yadanu mahayalo. Vayomer alehem Aharon parku nizmei hazaha. Asher bet nizmei neshechem benochem uvnotechem v'haviu elai. Vayparku kol ha'am et nizmei hazacha asher bet nizmei v'shet ba'aznehem vayaviu al el Aharon.
Shkoach. Well done. Come touch the Torah one more time, right here. El Aharon. Beautiful. Those who stood before, who know the courage, the special courage of women, please rise to honor this. And our blessing continues. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Give Aviva a hug. You have to. Please be seated. For the third aliyah, we continue on pages 448 and 9 with verse 4. It's about 5 or 6 lines from the bottom. For the third aliyah, we call up Grandma and Grandpa and Bobby and Papa. Ya'amdu. There they are. Ya'amdu saba'im v'savtaot shlishi. In this section, Moses' brother Aaron was pressured into building this golden calf for our people who were stricken with fear. Anyone here who has felt pressured to do something you really did not want to do because of the fear of others is invited to rise and claim the blessing of identifying with this difficult challenge that Aaron faces here in the Torah. Challenge of the herd mentality, of being pressured by herd mentality. No pressure. Come around to the Torah. Ready? Okay. So we write, let's see, second break, 5 lines up. Why don't we start with Vayikach, which is right there. Okay, Vayikach. Come touch the Torah anywhere you'd like. It's all Torah. Lovely. Save some for your, pass it on, that's good. Good, perfect. Well, you can hold on to that as we say the blessing. Ready? And Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Let's let Aviva come to the Torah. We're going to back you up a little bit. Let's pick that up. What a blessing that you're here to celebrate with us. Wow. Ooh. Whew. Kach, again, verse 4. Vayikach. Give us an amen. You good? I see it. Vayikach.
Right?
Wait a second. I have Vayikach. Where are we starting?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's Vayikach. Vayikach Miriam. Okay? Take a breath. Amen.
Amen. Vayikach mi'adam, vayatzar oto v'acheret, vaya'asehu egel masecha, vayomru ele Eloha Yisrael, asher ha'elu ha'me'eretz Mitzrayim, vayar ha'aron, vayaven mizbeach lefanav, vayikra ha'aron, vayomar, Hagla Adonai Mahar, Vayashkimu mimaharat, Vaya'alu olo, Vayagishu shalamim, Vayasheh ha'am la'ahol, Veshato, Vayakimu letzacheh.
Shkoach. Come touch the Torah. Those who stood before, who know the challenge of peer pressure, are invited to rise, to acknowledge that it's hard. It's hard. And we can do it. Ready? And. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Give Aviva a hug. Give her a hug. Give her a hug. We continue with verse 7, the last final line at the bottom of page 448 and 9. Moses responds to this challenge. For the fourth aliyah, we call up Dodi and Uncle David, Auntie Jen and Uncle Joel, and Auntie Sharon and Cousin Nadiv, Yamdu, Dodot, Dodim, Uben Dod, Rivi'i. The Hebrews on the other side. Right there. Beautiful. And pass out. Hebrews on one side, transliterations on the other. Come gather towards the Torah. Be in contact with the Torah or someone in. There we go. Ready? And. Baruch Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. That's good. Ready? Right there. Right there. Give us an amen.
Amen. Vayidber Adonai el Moshe lechrei ki shetei amha asher ha'elita me'eretz Mitzrayim saru maher min haderech asher tzebitim asu lahem egel masecha vayishtachavu lo vayizbechu lo vayomru ele Elohecha Yisrael asher ha'elu ha'me'eretz Mitzrayim Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Ra'iti et ha'am hazeh v'hinehei am keseo rei.
Shkoach. Okay, your blessing continues.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. The hard part. Give her a kiss. Shkoach. We continue with the fifth aliyah. We turn to page 450, 451. Verse 10, which is about 5 lines down. Moses continues in dialogue with the divine as he prepares to descend from the mountain. For the fifth aliyah, we call up the proud parents, Mark and Ann, Yamdu, Chana bat Nachum, Chayesara, Moshe ben Yosef upnina, Chamishi. So this blessing, friends, that you have brought this beautiful soul into the world.
Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. You see it? See it? Okay, give us an amen.
Amen. V'atahani hali, v'harapi v'hem v'halem, v'ese ota legoy gadol. V'hal Moshe et pnei Adonai Elohav, v'yomer lama Adonai, Yeharei ad pa b'harim, b'amecha asher hutzitah me'eretz Mitzrayim, Behoach gadol ufyad hazaka lama yomru Mitzrayim lemor bara'a hotziyam leharok otam beharim ulhalotam me'al penei hadama shuv maharona pecha v'hinehem al hara'ah le'amecha.
Good job. Touch the Torah right here. Just cruising along. Blessing. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Go ahead and seat. Leave your God. Just watch your step as you get down. You guys stay here. You get the front row seats for this. For the sixth and final aliyah. Talmud. Talmud. Habachura bat mitzvah. Aviva bat Chana Moshe maftira. We call up the bat mitzvah, Aviva Feder. So you've been chanting beautifully. This is your final aliyah. But for this aliyah, you get to offer the blessing. And with this blessing, you officially become a bat mitzvah. So, hands on the Torah. Oh, first excuse me. Let's find the place. Zohor Abraham. Take your talid. You got it? Hands on the Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher Bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Zachor. Verse 13.
Zechor la'abraham Yom Litzak u'Yisrael avadecha asher nishbatai lachem bach v'daber alehem arbe et zarchem kehoch hashamayim v'ho haaretz hazot asher amarti etein lazarchem v'nahalu leolam v'nehem Adonai al hara'ah Asher diber la'asot le'amo.
Shkoach. Touch the Torah with your talit right there, le'amo. right, hold the Torah. Blessing continues. Baruch atah.
Baruch atah Adonai okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mi sheberach. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you, Aviva Feder, Aviva Bat Chana Moshe, who has come up for an aliyah upon reaching the age of mitzvot. May the Infinite One guard you and protect you, guide you to a life of giving and sharing. May you always remember who you are and where you came from, and that you are loved. Can I get an amen? Amen. Hey. This moment with the Torah out, we offer our prayer for healing. It is number 5 on our tefillah page, our additional page. We also acknowledge, in addition to all we are including in this prayer for healing, we acknowledge that Aunt Marilyn and Uncle Jan, Uncle Stephen and Cousin Sherry weren't well enough to travel and be with us today. We hope they're able to tune in on Facebook Live. So visualize, if you can, those who we send our heartfelt energy for healing out through this prayer. We're all going to connect to the Torah. El narefana la refuah shlema. El narefana la. Please heal this soul. Mishabera Abraham v'Sarah, Yitzchak v'Rivka, Yaakov, Rachel v'Leah, El narefana la, refuah shlema, El narefana la. Please heal this soul. With faith and love, together we bring hope and healing to those in need. Without judgment, without explanation, we are all God's creations. El narefana la, refuah shlema. El narefana la. Please heal this soul. Guys can have a seat. Get ready for Haftarah. Get your book. We call up people who are honored to raise and dress the Torah. We call up Elliot Binder to raise the Torah. Ya'amod, Asher ben Moshe v'Fredel Hagba. And we call up Cousin Della to dress the Torah. We need a tallit. I think we have an extra tallit. There we go. We're lovely. So Elliot is going to raise the Torah to remind us it is here for us. It is all of ours. We are all invited to encounter it, to seek its guidance and wisdom. Please rise in honor of the Torah as Elliot raises it up. Is that a good distance? Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe Livnei v'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai Yad Moshe. Gotcha. Hi la 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 la. Hi la la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la. Put that right under the Torah. Hi la 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 la. Hi la la. Hi la 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 la. Hashi, slide around to the other side. Your body. Come around to the other side. Watch your steps. Shuva Kadesh Yamen Kadesh Amen Kekeden. Oh, hi la 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 la. Hi la la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la la. Hi la 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 la. Hi la la. Hi la 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 la. Hashiven Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Kadesh Yamin Kadesh Yamin Kekeden. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a seat. It's now time for Aviva to chant a few verses from today's Haftarah, which comes to us from Melachim Aleph, 1 Kings. You can find it in our Chumash on pages 1134 and 5. 1134 and 5. Step up. You can see Aviva's going to start with verse 37. This section, just like in the Torah, where our people had a crisis of faith, here too, under the guidance of the prophet Eliyahu HaNavi, prophet Elijah, the people have come through a difficult period, and with the support of the prophet, their faith is renewed. Aviva will start with the blessings before the Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bin ve'im tovim v'retzav v'divrehem ha'ne'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai havocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe abdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Aneni Adonai Aneni Vaidu Ha'am Hazeh Ki Ata Adonai Elohim V'ata Hasivota Et Libam Ahoranit Vatipol Eish Adonai Vaitahol Et Haolam Vet Haitzi Vet Ha'avanim Vet ha'afar, vet ha'mayim asher batala lihecha. Vayar kol ha'am, vayiblu al pnehem, vayomru Adonai hu Elohim, Adonai hu Elohim.
Shkoach. Blessing following the chanting of the Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzor kol haolamim, tzadik bechol havarot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, hamdeber u'mkayin, shekol davarav, emet v'tzedek.
Ne'eman. No, let's
My
do
bad. Yeah.
Al Torah.
Al HaTorah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al hanvim, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'leinucha, lechavod ultifaretz, al ha'kol Adonai anachnu modim lach, uvarchim otah, yitbarach shimecha, befi kol hai tamid leolam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Done. It's now time to return the Torah to the ark. So we put away our chumashim, open up, take out our prayer books, to open them to page 433. 433. Please rise as we return the Torah to the ark. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shmo levado, hodu al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren le'amo, tilalecho chasidav, livnei Yisrael am karovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Turn to page 441, third line from the top. We sing Eitz Chaim Hi. She is our tree of life. Come on over here, Aviva. 441. Right there, third line from the top. Come over here. Eitz Chaim Hi. למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yamenu Chadesh Yamenu Kekeh. Please be seated. What? Oh no, you're right into it. It's now time, after chanting so beautifully from the Torah, Aviva now has some words of Torah to offer us this morning. It's the day of her bat mitzvah. This is so good.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Have you ever looked in a mirror and wanted to change everything about yourself? This question became central to my exploration of my Torah portion. This section of the Torah picks up after the tablets are received on Mount Sinai. The people are asked to begin building a Mishkan, a portable sanctuary in the wilderness. Moses was told to make a census to count the people. He did this by asking each person to give a half shekel. All of this money was to go toward building the Mishkan. The purpose of the half shekel was not only to count the people, but to make the people feel like they counted. Moses, while funding the Mishkan, was also helping everyone feel like they were contributing to the project. While doing my work with Rabbi Dan, he asked me what made me feel like I counted. For me, this one's easy. Theater. The whole concept. It's all about people who have individual talents blended together to create something bigger and better. It makes me feel like I count because I know that every single voice and movement makes an impact on a production. Not only that, it's also the environment. You really know you found a place that matters when at the cast party after the show ends, people are crying harder than they ever have because of the people and the show. I had a realization moment of how lucky I am to have found my passion in theater. At the end of the last show, The Music Man. I was leaving and I had a moment of, wow. All these people made me feel like I counted. I could look around the room and have a memory with each person. While making people feel like they count, Moses was using the half shekel counted to build a Mishkan. In reading about the sacred objects in the Mishkan, I was particularly interested by the wash basin the priests used to cleanse themselves after offering up sacrifices on the altar. The women of the community offered to donate their polished copper mirrors for this washstand. At first, Moses didn't like this idea because he thought the mirrors were being used for superficial purposes, for grooming and beauty. He was concerned that this was not an appropriate contribution to the sacred washstand. In the Midrash, the commentary on the Torah, rabbis teach us that Moses had a realization that when the Jews were enslaved in Egypt, the men refused to have children with their wives. They didn't want their children to grow up as slaves. It was the women who refused to give up hope and insisted that they continue to have children with their husbands and carry on their legacy. Their copper mirrors reminded them of their responsibility to be loving and ensure that there's a future for their people. It's disappointing that today women are still discriminated against and pressured into using things for vanity purposes, for their looks and bodies. Girls my age feel extreme pressure about body image. Part of this pressure is internal, but a lot of it's external. It's so toxic to always have to compare yourself to other people, but sometimes, against better judgment, toxic thoughts can take over. I think this society is really messed up, forcing young girls to feel like they're not good enough, not pretty enough, and just not enough. I'm very passionate about making sure that everyone I know who's struggling with things like this knows one thing. We have to live for ourselves. We have to resist the nonstop pressure to live in someone else's notion of what it means to have the perfect looks and the perfect body. We don't live to look like anyone else. Think about how boring it would be if everyone looked the same. This dumb idea of perfection. If you know me, you know I like glitter and anything sparkly. So if you try to live up to other people, then where's your personal pizzazz? One of the most common metaphors is to be a snowflake. No snowflake is the same. So I'm making this my own analogy. Be your own sequin. No glitter is the same and no sparkle shines sparklier. That's just boring. Don't compare your sparkle to someone else's if it looks different. Yes, for all the doubters, I can find a way to involve glitter into everything. Pressure is put on women of all ages to look the ideal beauty standard, and as human beings, people need to step up against this. I've been a victim of body shaming multiple times, including when 2 people said I would die of obesity. Fortunately, I had some great friends that helped me through it, but it was a really low point in my life. Moses thought the women were using their mirrors for vanity, but the Torah teaches us that each of us have to look in our own mirror and appreciate our own individuality. I want to do something about the pressure young girls feel. I know I can't change the world in 3 minutes, so now it's time for you all to feel like you count. No pressure. So, I've bought rubber band bracelets with positive messages to help you feel your best. You can also help others feel their best. And just like the census that our people take in my Torah portion, you can help other people feel like they count. When you leave the sanctuary, you can choose a bracelet with a positive message to remember that when you have days where you don't feel your best, just a reminder that you're not alone. At times when I felt bad, I thought nobody understood what I was going through. So I'm trying to help people realize that they're not alone. Feel free to take a bracelet after the service and before lunch. We'll help people with baskets. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu, 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 Ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu. Have a seat. I'm going to leave this right here. I'd like to call up Kelly Cohn, dear friend of the Fedders and a director of our Tree of Life preschool, to present
to present Aviva with her own Kiddush cup and candlesticks. On behalf of the Brotherhood and Sisterhood, presents for your bat mitzvah.
Aviva, what a beautiful job that you've done today. It seems like yesterday that you were a teeny tiny toddler celebrating at Tat Shabbat, and then you were a preschooler at Tree of Life, and now we stand here today and you are a beautiful bat mitzvah. I'm so proud of you. It's been a privilege to watch you on this journey, and I am so grateful for our family's friendship, and I look forward to watching you as your journey continues. I am sure it will be remarkable. So on behalf of the Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Beth Hayim, we wish you Mazel Tov and offer you this Kiddush cup. We hope that you drink from this cup to sweeten your Shabbat, and that it is part of celebrating many sweet moments to come. We hope that whenever you use these candlesticks,
They're in here.
ta-da, to welcome Shabbat, that you will be warmed by their light, and you will claim it as yours today. Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov. Thank you, Kelly. Come step over here. Aviva. Come. Anyone who knows you knows how wonderful your spirit is. You're blessed with an incredibly loving family. And you have been, since you were very, very young, always been your own person. You are compassionate and loving, and you have never, ever been afraid to speak your mind. What is amazing is that most of the time, you have something worthwhile to say. I have watched your growth from the time you were quite small to today, and I've noticed what a good friend you are. That you have a very refined sense of justice and really good radar to spot injustice. And the incredible thing is that when you spot it, you feel compelled to do something about it. Aviva, this is a great gift, and it is a great challenge. Speaking truth, especially when it's unpopular, or when few others are willing to do it, takes courage, enormous courage, which you have. So what is my blessing? My blessing on this day of your bat mitzvah comes not from me, but through me, from my mentor, Reb Zalman Schachter Shalom Zichrono Livracha, my Rebbe, who used to teach, don't waste your time talking if there is no one willing or able to listen. Now, he said this not to stop us from speaking truth when people find it difficult to hear the truth, but rather to remember that this sometimes requires great skill, great sensitivity to find the words that can be heard, especially in difficult situations. So that's my blessing to you, Aviva. That when you have truths that you, in your amazing courage, feel compelled to share, which need to be shared, that you use all of your intelligence, your sensitivity, and your extraordinary creativity. This takes creativity to find the words that you believe can be heard, that need to be heard in challenging times. Aviva, my door is always open to you as you grow and develop. You're so blessed to have not only wonderful parents and Talia, but as we saw, at the rite of passage ceremony on Thursday night, we saw so many wise and loving people that are in your camp. And I'm always happy to be on Team Aviva. It's a good team. You are greatly, greatly blessed. So right now I want to offer you an ancient, powerful blessing, a threefold blessing of peace. It invites everyone to participate with the words Ken Yehi Ratzon after each blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Which means, may the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. Now we call upon your mom and dad to come offer their parental blessings on this day of your bat mitzvah. Come this way. Let's have you upstage. You going first?
Well, first a disclaimer. This will not be as good as your sister's. However, I will do my best. So that was a courageous devar and a beautiful version of a bat mitzvah. We knew you would give it your own special twist. You sure did, and it was a wonder to behold. The experience reminded me of your name and its meaning to us, which is like nothing. We don't have any ancestral history. We just liked it. It sounds nice. It rolls off the tongue. It's a palindrome. We like the way it could be both uncommon and natural sounding. Maybe that was a sign that you would forge your own story, one that is both unique and feels natural. You have started to define the meaning of your name for you, just as you have forged your own path in life. My blessing for you, my first blessing, there are a couple, is that you forge a path that is unique to you and feels natural at the same time. When we were writing your bio for the community, we included the word resilience. Here's the thing, you don't become resilient unless you are confronted with challenges, especially between the ages of, like 2 and 13. You have had to battle through a lot of stuff, less than some, but perhaps more than many. My heart breaks a little with each thing that you have to overcome. But then you stitch it back every time with your resilient attitude. I am so proud of that resilience, and I'm sorry that you've had to be. My blessing for you, number 2, is that you continue to be resilient in the face of challenges without losing yourself in the misfortune of any one of them, or even when you add them all up. It is and may continue to be difficult, but I know you can do it, and I hope that you know that we are here to help. We also describe you, with your permission and agreement, as an advocate for social justice. You care and you like to help. I'm going to try to put it into context, how I see it. When someone comes to certain folks with a problem, they might say, "You have problems, I've got problems, isn't life hard? I'll see you around." Others react to someone else's problems by commiserating and even empathizing, and that is important. But when someone comes to you with a problem, you say, "How can I help?" And that speaks volumes about your character. My second to the last blessing for you is that you continue to find ways to help, and help with empathy. I've heard it said that it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to succeed in this world, and you are off to a great start. My final blessing for you is that you continue to courageously employ all 3 and change this world for the better.
Amen.
Aviva. You have brought so many blessings into our lives. The blessing of music and light and humor and sass. Is sass a blessing? I think it might be. But now it is time for me to offer you a blessing. This is something that I haven't done in a while. When you were quite little, I offered you a blessing every night when I tucked you in. And at that time, my blessings were focused on things that I thought were important to you, like getting to play with the good toys in the sandbox, and the blessing of giggling with friends until your sides hurt, and the blessing of graham crackers for snack. Okay. And do you remember the first time you offered me a blessing? You were around 3 years old, and as you are inclined to do, you turned the tables and tried out a blessing on me. As I headed out the door for work with my laptop, my lunch bag, my gym clothes, my coffee cup, you stopped me, asked me to put everything down and kneel in front of you so that you could put your hands on my shoulders. And you looked deep into my eyes and said to me, "Mama, will you please buy me some bubbles?" I'm sure this blessing had important meaning to you. It certainly made me laugh. And I am pleased to share that over time, your blessings have taken on a deeper meaning and have given me insight into your character. I see that you are a caregiver and bless others with your attention to their needs. When I had my hip surgery, you were the one by my side, constantly checking on me, bringing me ice, and making sure I took my pain medicine. You bless others with food that you dream up and make from scratch and share with love and detail. You look forward to volunteering every year at warm winter nights so that you can cook and bake and provide comforting food and nourishments to strangers in need. You bless others with your friendship, keeping secrets, defending their honor, offering a shoulder to cry on, and giggling together until your sides hurt. These are important blessings that you offer and receive. And you are blessing the world with your compassion and fiery commitment to fighting injustice.
I feel better knowing that you are ready at a moment's notice to get fired up and take action when you notice that something's not right. So, Vivi Pai, my blessing to you is that you are able to connect with these blessings always, and especially when things look bleak. May you have the wisdom to walk away when your blessings aren't appreciated, and the knowledge that you make a difference by just being you. And may your sparkle always shine bright. I am blessed to be your mom. And here are some bubbles.
Amen. Walk it down. Whew.
In moments like this, in moments of sweet celebration, we always pause to remember loved ones who have died and to acknowledge that we have the power through memory and intention to invite them into this circle of celebration. So the Kadisha Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 451. 451. I'd like to ask those who are in the first year of mourning the loss of a close loved one to please rise to honor their memories. Anyone observing a yortzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one sometime during this week, please rise to honor their memories. And anyone else who feels the need to say the Kadisha Tome this morning, please rise to join the others. For all these who are being held in this moment, we say Zichronam Livracha. May their memories forever be a blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Bi'oma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam uleolmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imroma hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Zecher, 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 tzadikim livracha, livracha, may, their memories bless our days, bless our days. Seat. The Kiddush lunch following the service is sponsored by the family in honor of Aviva's bat mitzvah. We're going to invite people in, when we conclude momentarily, we can invite people to, feels like we could go outside. It's not raining. Go into the lobby if you need to, but we can go outside, let the folks flip the room, and come back in. On your way out, this is really important to Aviva. Please take one. They're all amazing. take one in honor of her devar and her intention this morning on this Shabbat. I'd like to call Aviva up with her Mitzvah class. Come on up. We turn, in just a moment, you'll all be offered wine, juice, and challah. Right now we're going to offer the blessings for everyone. Aviva? Bottom of page 465. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. All who are able, please rise as we conclude with a prayer for peace, a prayer of hope. It's number 10 on our additional page. We want to thank Jeff and Drew and Rachel Mazer. Thank you so much for being here and helping to sweeten this simcha. Od yavo shalom aleinu. May peace come soon. Ready, and Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Oyo shalom aleinu. Oyo shalom aleinu. Oyo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Oyo shalom aleinu, oyo shalom aleinu, oyo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Shabbat shalom.